Theatre. This is The Long Arm, Series 1, Cold Call, pilot written by Kris Taylor. Over black, an upbeat but off-key ukulele tune. Interior ukulele studio night, a box room, posters of Hendrix, The Edge, Slash. The melody continues until a bum note. Front and center is Wes Long, 50s, black, grizzled, rocking a golf club chic look. Curses his stiff, calloused fingers. Teacher Quentin, 40s, and 6 students look on. Some stifle laughter, some cringe. Fiona, 50, scolds them with a look. It's okay, Wes. It's only been 9 months. You can't rush it. Wes gazes at the stem of his purple uke, a small photograph of a Spanish villa stuck to the back side of it.
We still have time.
Soon. All I'll have is time.
The other students look puzzled, wary, scared even. A mobile buzzes. Wes fishes it from a pocket and answers.
D.I. Long? Abduction? Can't it wait? I'm busy. Where am I?
Wes scans the room, spots the posters. Bingo!
Jimi Hendrix concert. What? No, it was all a conspiracy. I can't hear you. Look, I need to...
Wes's expression hardens, sits forward, removes his finger.
You sure it's him? Have Kris pick me up at home. And Pete, no one goes in until I arrive. Got it?
Prelap, whoop whoop, sound of the police by KRS-One booms. Exterior Newcastle upon Tyne night. A crappy Vauxhall Corsa chugs over the Tyne Bridge, super titled The Long Arm. Interior Vauxhall Corsa night continuous. An unmarked police car, the source of the hip-hop tune. The driver is DC Chris Reynolds, 30s, brick shithouse. Wes, the restless passenger in a flat cap and barber jacket.
Turn this shit off, Kris.
I thought you'd like it, boss.
And why is that exactly? Sorry.
Okay. Kris sheepishly turns off the radio. Wes shakes his head in despair as a mobile rings. The ringtone, sound of the police. Kris grins. Wes scrambles for his phone and answers.
Wes Long? From where? How did you get this number? You people. If you call me again, it'll be my records that show you've suffered an injury that no amount of compensation will make up for.
Wes ends the call at a third frantic attempt, sighs.
Can't this thing go any faster?
No, boss.
Wes stares at his own reflection in the passenger window. Exterior, tower blocks, Gateshead night. Twin concrete eyesores lit up like shitty Christmas trees. The Corsa arrives, parks by a shabby people carrier. Kris leaps out of the Corsa. Wes follows, limps towards DS Pete Clark, 40s, wiry, very scouse, leans against a sporty BMW SVU, coffee in one hand, cigarette in the other.
How come you get a bloody BMW?
Cop doesn't choose the car, boss. The car chooses the cop.
Are you back on the gear, Pete?
Pete grins, sips his coffee. Boss? Wes jumps with fright, turns to no one, looks down to DC Rachael King, 20s, a tiny bespectacled Geordie lass.
How many times have I told you not to do that? I've got a bad heart.
Do what?
Stop messing about and listen. Firearms aren't coming. Not this time. Her Majesty says there's no budget for it, so it's up to us.
Wes takes out a smartphone, taps it, swipes it.
Take a good, long, hard look.
He shows the phone screen to the team. They all recoil. Rachael retches. Pete chokes on his cigarette. Kris draws an imaginary cross on himself.
Christ almighty.
Wes checks the phone.
Shit.
Wes swipes, shows the screen to the team again.
Look at this face. Study it. Try to remember it.
On the screen, a man, 30s, beard, face tattoos, missing eye.
This is our man, Igor Mironov. And I want to retire knowing this piece of shit is behind bars. You know how I feel about loose ends. An innocent girl's life is on the line, and I don't need to remind you, but I will, that he threatened to kill each and every one of us, our families and Dee's kids' gerbils. No pressure. Don't cock this up. Kris, I know this is personal, but I need you to keep cool up there.
Kris slips on a pair of fake Ray-Bans.
That's not really what...
You don't like knockoff Terminator.
Rachael waves a hand in front of Chris's face. Can you even see in those things?
Focus. We go in. We go in fast, we go in hard, and we go in quiet.
Pete shoots a wink and smiles at Rachael. She rolls her eyes.
Hang on. Where is Dee?
Already up there. Said she needs to be away. Kid's got flute practice.
I was very clear, Pete.
I did an emergency risk assessment.
For who?
Me.
Fair enough. Right. Forget quiet.
The team jog towards the heavy door at the entrance. Kris slams into a steel signpost, hits the floor hard. Interior stairwell, tower block, night. Heels clip, clang and echo up a metal staircase.
Just make him sick. He won't have had time to digest it yet.
Denise D. Hooper, 40s, cropped hair, clothes a little too tight, talks on the phone as she arrives at a landing and door.
Christ, John. Oh, just hit my steps. I've only been at work 12 hours. Can't you handle 6 kids?
She pulls open the door, heads onto the interior walkway, 17th floor, tower block, night, continuous. Dee strides past graffitied doors and possibly a dead body.
No, I shouldn't be long. Yes, I'll pick up the thrush.
She turns a corner. The team step out of the elevator, stare back at her. Ding, the doors close behind them.
I have to go. Bye, love. Incident room says this is the one.
Those civvy tossers better be right this time. My therapist says...
We don't talk about that, Rachael.
Sorry, boss. I forgot.
I wish I could. Right. On 3.
What happens on 3?
We knock, identify ourselves. Not this time, Dee. On 3, we go in quick, slick, tell him to...
Kris boots in the door, pulls and points a massive handgun.
Put down the dick.
Steps into a narrow internal hallway, barricades the door closed behind him. Wes rushes in, bangs with a closed fist.
Kris, open it. You're blinded by hate and cheap sunglasses. Downstairs, radio it in. This could go south quickly.
Rachael scurries to the lift, hits the button, waits. Interior hallway, flat 710, night, continuous. Kris stalks, flicks a light switch, nothing. A head in a living room, a saggy man, 50, sits on a shabby sofa alone, watches TV in a tinfoil helmet. Tighty-whities and green Crocs, holds a penis-shaped bong to his lips, unmoved, high as fuck. Kris, still in sunglasses, steps into the doorway now and a huge inflatable alien silhouettes against the only window.
I come in peace.
The tinfoil man turns to Kris, then the TV Terminator 2 plays.
Who's your little friend, Igor?
Bang, bang, bang on the front door. Tinfoil man shits a proverbial brick, dives behind the sofa.
Kris, open the door.
Not so full of chat tonight, eh?
The alien says nothing because it's an inflatable.
Fine. We can go the easy way or the hard way. But either way, I'm taking you down, Igor. My way.
Interior walkway, 17th floor, night, continuous. Wes pounds on the door, tiring now, as the door to flat 711 across the corridor opens. Igor Mironov peeks out, bare-chested, bloody knife in hand.
You keep noise down, please. I don't work with this racket.
Pete leans against the wall, casual, absorbed in his phone. The others more concerned with Kris and don't see him.
Police business. Back inside.
In Igor's flat, a woman, gagged and tied to a chair in the living room, head bowed, bloodied blonde hair hangs.
Wait. I'm knowing you.
I don't think so, Sergey. Now back in your gulag. Chop chop.
Igor frowns, slinks back inside, closes the door. Interior living room, flat 710, night, continuous. Kris raises the gun at the alien, cocks it, ready.
You killed my brother. In cold blood. Abducted him. Tortured him.
Bang, bang, bang at the door. Walkway. Wes kicks at the door now, won't budge, so he hobbles away. Dee checks her watch, snorts, hands Wes her handbag and pushes him aside, stands in front of the flat door. Flat 710, a standoff, blind cop versus inflatable alien. What a movie.
They abducted me. Probed me.
He was my brother. It wasn't like that. But we had our suspicions.
I'll come back if I talk.
Then let Mr. Luger do the talking.
Kris's finger tightens on the trigger. Tinfoil man braces. The flat door smashes open. Dee stands in the doorway like a fucking kung fu master. A through draft moves the alien at Kris into the light. Bang! Kris fires around. shatters the cock bomb in tinfoil man's hand. Bang, pops the inflatable this time. Charges, Rugby tackles it towards the grubby window. Exterior, tower blocks, night, continuous. Rachael stands at the open door of the course, shouting into a police radio. LB, assistance required, Harlow Green Towers, officer. Crash, she looks up, mouth falls open, eyes wide, follows something all the way to the ground. Thump, winces. Down. Interior flat 710, night, continuous. Dee, Pete and Wes rush to the broken window, look out.
Someone call a bloody ambulance.
I wouldn't bother.
Tinfoil man steps back inside. Beside them, looks down.
He killed Cedric.
Wes turns away, back into the room, can't look, distraught. Exterior, tower blocks, night, later. Blue lights flash, paramedics load Kris into an ambulance on a stretcher. He's alive. Rachael with him, the doors close, sirens wail, and it blares away. Meanwhile, Igor, out of sight, cans the scene. Then when it's clear, drags a bin liner wrapped human body-sized bundle into a thick bush, and he's gone again, while Wes gawps at the broken window, curses the mangled, limp inflatable in his hand. Pete steps in beside him.
What now, boss?
They wander together past Pete's BMW being uplifted into a low loader. Wes eyes it suspiciously but shakes it off.
I can't do this anymore, Pete. In a week I'll be out to pasture on the Costa del Sol, thrown onto the scrap heap like an unwanted straw donkey.
Just meant, did you fancy a beer?
No, Pete, I'm 10 years sober.
Sangria?
That's technically booze. I'm heading back to the Nick.
Wes hands Pete the inflatable, then looks at the parked Corsa.
You driving, boss?
Wes just stares at the car, lost in memory, a bad one.
Boss?
Wes snaps back to life.
No, take it. I'll get the metro.
Prelap, a metro train rumbles, clanks, squeals, clangs. Exterior quayside, Newcastle night, early hours. Yellow streetlights diffuse in hanging mist. The train fades, gives way to the sound of echoed heels on cobble. A woman, 20s, dressed to party, staggers alone under the railway bridge, wrestles a kebab, but it won't submit. I'm going to stop there. It's quite hard to read, and that's not because it's bad, because it's actually very good. It's just because it's a script. It's a proper script. And proper scripts are quite hard to read. This person knows what they're doing format-wise. It's great, fantastic. In fact, 10 out of 10 and 5 stars for the formatting. I think it's got a lot going for it, actually. I love the characters. And I love the way that they interact with one another and the setup. My only concern, and really is, and I'm saying this out of experience, is that they, I don't get a sense of their, I can't think of the word, I'm getting dementia. I can't think of the position they have within the police force. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know you said at the top, this is DC, Chris Reynolds, etc. But I don't get a sense of
The hierarchy,
where the hierarchy
status,
is between each of the characters. They're very chummy with one another. And whilst that is often true, I know sergeants and the DCs are often very, very chummy. But once you get higher than that, you start to get that hierarchy starts to click in, and there's a bit of deference comes in. The other thing that worried me was the gun. Police in the UK are not armed, as a matter of course. There has to be a special sort of, you know, they have to apply to be armed, as it were. You know, and there is a you know, a special unit that are armed. But again, there's a whole rigmarole around being able to take guns to a scene for the British police. That is completely unlike anything that they have in the States. Where you're all armed to the teeth all the time, it seems, including the police, but especially the police. But in the UK, we're not. And so they wouldn't really, you wouldn't have them taking a gun into a situation unless they were a special unit. And we don't get a sense of them being a special unit, as we get them being, this is a DS pickup, this is DC, this is, you know. Yeah, that's my main worry. I don't have any other worries about it, but that one I do have a worry. Also Denise Hooper, not sure whether what her role is, again, within the hierarchy. She doesn't, you've introduced people as a DC or a DS, she's only introduced herself as herself. So what's her role in it? Is she a civilian? Is she a detective? Is she a, you know, plainclothes person? What is her role in this? Or is she an informer? It would be good to just have a little idea of that. That's it. I'm not going to say anymore. John.
Absolutely hilarious. Sorry I butchered the Geordie accent, but it's been 5 years, so yeah, I'm allowed a bit of forgiveness for that. I got the feeling, I mean, this is definitely a comedy. I got the feeling that they were a bit kind of softly, you know, like the Sweeney. Blank expressions. You know who the Sweeney are, I assume?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. It's just you were all like, huh? Yeah. No, I just got that feeling that that's maybe what they were, you know, a bit softly, the task force. Hence the reason he's carrying a gun, because the Sweeney do.
The flying squad, do they still have that?
Yes. I encountered a couple of them about 6 years ago. I fell off my motorbike in Grosvenor Square in London, and these two softies come running over and helped me pick my bike up and pick myself up, and one of them was carrying a gun. So yes,
I think yeah, as I said, I think if this is a special unit,
yeah,
it has to be made clear.
Yeah, but it just brought back so many memories, especially like that 30-second scene at the end with the lass walking down the quayside with a kebab. That's like every Friday and Saturday night in Newcastle. But enjoyed it. Thought it was very well written. So funny. Very, very funny.
Okay. Let's see if I can
That's pretty much all I can say. I really did enjoy it. And I would love to see this come to life.
Brilliant.
Angela, could I go next? I'm sorry to push. It's just Rory's got some dinner ready for me now, so I probably should clear off. Thank you. Yeah.
Did he make enough for everybody?
No, wasn't that selfish?
Oh,
I was going to
how
stuff it down the
selfish are you,
computer for
Rory?
you.
Yeah.
It's not in the room. Yeah, I enjoyed it very much too. It'd be good just to say at the beginning, you know, that it's set roughly in the northeast or wherever, just so we know straight away. I mean, obviously the present is implied. I loved having the idea of this policeman playing the uke and playing it badly. There was something really quite endearing about that. And yeah, I think some people are introduced as being from, you know, Peter's Scouse and Rachel's Geordie, but some people we get a clue about where they're from and some not. So perhaps it'd be good to either say everybody is from so-and-so unless otherwise mentioned, or whatever, because yeah, some details are there and some not. I think there's something really engagingly daft about the whole thing, which is really fun. And I just would be interested to see as it pans out what the kind of level of comedy is. In you know, some ways it's quite just dotty, like the comic strip Presents and that sort of funny old sort of comedy. But in some ways you're thinking, oh, actually, is there another level? Is there a level where it hits kind of a seriousness? Or I just don't know kind of what the sort of ongoing pace is going to be like, whether there's going to be contrast in it as it goes along. But I like the way it's moving swiftly. It doesn't spell everything out. It doesn't say he fell on the lid of the BMW car. You know, it's just kind of, you know, we see that car being taken away and we think, oh dear, right, Kris has dropped onto that now, and yeah, we're a car down. So I just like the way that it kind of expected us to be bright and to sort of catch up, really.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to have to go. But,
go and have your.
You all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I don't know how to get myself out of here now. I've only got a picture of you, Angela, not the thing, but I'll get Rory to turn it off for me.
Fabulous. Okay.
See you
Erin.
soon.
Hugs to you and Rory.
Bye.
Erin.
I agree with everything everybody said. I found it funny, fun. It's got like a quality where you feel like it's one of those shows that you'd feel really entertained. Like, it just has a lot going on. So, but it's like fun, like, you know, and everybody going back and forth, like the conversations are funny and like interesting. The characters are interesting. I was curious, you know, when you talk about like the special unit. I mean, they were talking about aliens at some point, so I'm like, maybe it's kind of like a Men in Black type of deal or something. But I also when I want to apologize too, because when I read this line, I didn't understand for whatever reason that she was encouraging Wes until after Emma read her line. And I didn't kind of get who Fiona was and why she was, you know, scalding people, and like the 6 students, like, are they various ages, and is that important to the story? I don't know. So I'm sorry that I didn't get that till after, so I apologize. But I thought that it was really well written, like really, really well written. And I'm very curious as to where it's going and what's happening next. And yeah,
Thank you.
that's what I got.
Rachael.
Yeah, I agree with what everyone else has said. It's fun. There's a nice dynamic between the characters. I can see it on screen, and I think it would be great. I guess for me there was a bit of a disconnect between the start with the ukulele bit and the rest of the action, but the other 4 of you don't seem to have said that, so I think that's just me being slow. But I have enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it because it's good in a way. But yeah, good. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. That's great. We can't wait to find out if that gets made. That should get made. All
Definitely.
right. I'm going to record.